Good evening. My name is Paul Valou. I'm a director with Pandemic Players. I would like to thank everyone for joining us for Elmer Rice's The Adding Machine, directed by Brian McDonald. For those who are joining us for the first time, our entire operation, to include tonight's performance, is conducted from completely quarantined conditions. All rehearsals and the work done behind the scenes to present tonight's play was conducted with no face-to-face interactions. It should be noted that all of our productions are of plays that are in the public domain or that we have obtained the rights to perform. We believe that as a theater community that we have the responsibility to respect the rights of authors. While the general public are invited to attend our virtual performances free of charge, donations are accepted to aid the theaters in the greater Baltimore area that have suffered economic impact. Pandemic Players is completely self-funded. We supply our own equipment and fund our own server space. Instead, we ask that our audience, if they are able, to donate to a local theater that needs help to still be there when normalcy returns. Each week, our volunteers nominate and vote on a theater to support with each new production. Tonight, we are raising money to support our friends at Arena Players. Like so many of our theaters, they've had to suspend their season. While you are free to view tonight's performance, we ask that a donation be made if possible. We recommend $20, which is the average cost of a ticket to a locally produced theater. But thank you for anything that you're willing to give. To make donations easy, you can find a donation link on our public Facebook, Pandemic Players. We will also have web links in the comments of the YouTube stream to help you find out where to go. The board of Pandemic Players extends a very heartfelt thank you to all of tonight's performers, volunteers, donors, and supporters for choosing to take part in this effort. Your actions bring hope to our community. Tonight, everything may not go perfect. If everything was perfect, we would all be on stage and wouldn't have to take any of the extraordinary measures we took so that this Saturday evening could exist. Please enjoy our production of The Adding Machine, followed by this message from our partners at Arena Players.
Hello, my name is Eric Jones from the Arena Players. First off, I would like to thank everyone on behalf of the Arena Players and thank everyone at Pandemic Players. Arena Players is the oldest continuous African American theater in the United States, founded in 1953. Arena Players' purpose and mission has always been to educate, inform, and of course entertain and provide an outlet for African Americans and just all people to be able to just demonstrate their talent through the arts through all these years. I am one of the instructors of the youth theater program, which helps to educate students ages 4 all the way to 18. We have on average about 65 kids throughout the year during our summer and fall sessions, which is a blessing. As you know, the pandemic has hit the arts tremendously hard because the arts is based on associating with people gathering. It's part of our rituals, it's part of our fabric, and those are the things that are so essential. So as we move towards the future, getting together and doing these various Zoom parties and actual having these virtual performances will become even more crucial. And as we head and start to the reorganization process of moving forward and also reaching out to the community, we may find the theater may find itself doing exactly what we're doing tonight, which is gathering virtually to help people know that through our darkest hours, there's still the arts. There's still creativity. There's still new ways to enrich the heart and the mind. Tonight is this is a celebration. Through your outreach and through our outreach, we can have an even brighter future. So I'm very much looking forward to your performance tonight and very much looking forward to bringing people back through the doors of the arena players. Once again, thank everyone with Pandemic for helping us out tonight. Break a leg tonight and hope to see you soon. Thank you.
I'm getting sick of them westerns. All them cowboys riding around and fooling with ropes. I don't care nothing about that. I'm sick of them. I don't see why they don't have more of those stories like For Love's Sweet Sake. I like them sweet little love stories. They're nice and wholesome. Mrs. 12 was saying to me only yesterday, Mrs. Zero, says she, what I like is one of them wholesome stories with just a sweet little love story. You're right, Mrs. 12, I says, that's what I like too. They're showing too many westerns at the Rosebud. I'm getting sick of them. I think we'll start going to the Peter Stuyvesant. They got a good bill there Wednesday night. There's a Chubby Delano comedy called Seasick. Mrs. 12 was telling me about it. She says it's a cream. They're having a picnic in the country, and they sit Chubby next to this old maid with a great big mouth. So he gets sore, and when she ain't looking, he goes and catches a frog and drops it in her clam chowder. And when she goes to eat the chowder, the frog jumps out of it and right into her mouth. Oh, talk about laugh. Mrs. 12 was telling me she laughed so she nearly passed out. He sure can pull some funny ones. Oh, and they got this great big Grace Darling feature, A Mother's Tears. She's sweet, but I don't like her clothes. There's no style to them. Mrs. 9 was telling me that she read in Pictureland that she ain't living with her husband. He's her second, too. I don't know whether they're divorced or just separated. You wouldn't think it to see her on the screen. She looks so sweet and innocent. Maybe it ain't true. You can't always believe what you read. They say some Pittsburgh millionaire is crazy about her, and that's why she ain't living with her husband. Mrs. 7 was telling me that her brother-in-law has a friend that used to go to school with Grace Darling. He says her name ain't Grace Darling at all. Her right name is Elizabeth Dugan, he says. And all them stories about her getting $5,000 a week is just bunk, he says. She's sweet, though. Mrs. 8 was telling me that A Mother's Tears is the best picture she's ever made. Don't miss it, Mrs. 0, she says. It's sweet, she says, just sweet and wholesome. Cry, she said. I nearly cried my eyes out. There's one part in it where this big bum of an Englishman, oh, he's a married man too, and she's this little simple country girl, and she nearly falls for him too. But she's sitting out in the garden one day, and she looks up, and there's her mother looking at her right out of the clouds. So that night, she locks the door of her room, and sure enough, when everybody's in bed, along comes this big bum of an Englishman, and when she won't let him in, what does he do but kick open the door? Don't miss it, Mrs. 0, Mrs. 8 was telling me. It's at the Peter Stuyvesant Wednesday night. So don't go telling me you want to go to the Rosebud. The 8's seen it downtown at the Strand. They go downtown all the time, just like us, Nit. I guess by the time it gets to the Peter Stuyvesant, and all the part about kicking the door in will be cut out, just like they cut out that big cabaret scene in The Price of Virtue. They sure are pulling some rough stuff in the pictures nowadays. It's no place for a young girl, I was telling Miss 11 just the other day. And by the time they get uptown, half of it's cut out. But you won't go downtown, not if wild horses was to drag you. You can wait till they come uptown. Well, I don't want to wait, see? I want to see them when everybody else is seeing them, and not a month later. Now, don't go telling me that you ain't got the price. You could dig up the price, all right, if it was for a ball game. I notice you always got the price for a ball game, but when it comes to me having a good time, then it's always, I ain't got the price. I got to start saving. A fat lot you'll ever save. I got all I can do now to make both ends meet, and you talk about saving. And don't go pulling that stuff about getting tired either. I've been working hard all day. Twice a day on the subway's enough for me. Tired. Where do you get that tired stuff anyhow? What about me? Where do I come in? Scrubbing floors and cooking your meals and washing your dirty clothes. And you sitting on a chair all day just adding figures and waiting for 5:30. Well, there's no 5:30 for me. I don't get to wait for no whistle. I don't get no vacations neither. And what's more, I don't get no pay envelope every Saturday night neither. I'd like to know where you'd be without me. And what have I got to show for it, slaving my life away to give you a home? What's in it for me, I'd like to know. But it's my own fault, I guess. I was a fool for marrying you. If I'd have had any sense, I'd have known what you were from the start. I wish I had it to do over again, I hope to tell you. You was going to do wonders, you was. You wasn't going to be a bookkeeper long. Oh, no, not you. Wait till you got started, see? Well, it's been a good long wait, too. 25 years, and I ain't seen nothing happen. 25 years in the same job, 25 years tomorrow. You're proud of it, ain't you? 25 years in the same job and never missed a day. Oh, that's something to be proud of, ain't it? Sitting for 25 years on the same chair, adding up figures. What about being store manager? I guess you forgot about that, didn't you? And me at home here, looking at the same four walls and working my fingers to the bone to make both ends meet. 7 years since you had a raise. And if you don't get one tomorrow, I'll bet a nickel you won't have the guts to go and ask for one. I didn't pick much when I picked you. I'll tell the world. You ain't much to be proud of. She ain't walking around tonight. You can bet your sweet life on that. And she won't be walking around any more nights neither. Not in this house anyhow. The dirty bum. The idea of her coming to live in a house with respectable people. They should have gave her 6 years, not 6 months. If I was the judge, I'd have give her life. A bum like that. I guess you're sorry she's gone. I guess you'd like to sit home every night and watch her goings on. You're something to be proud of, you are. You better not start nothing with women if you know what's good for you. I've been putting up with a lot, but I won't put up with that. I've been slaving away for 25 years, making a home for you and nothing to show for it. If you was any kind of man, you'd have a decent job by now, and I'd be getting some comfort out of life instead of just being a slave, washing pots and standing over a hot stove. I've stood it for 25 years, and I guess I'll have to stand it for 25 more. But don't you go start nothing with women.
42 cents, $1.50. $1.50, $1.25. $2. 39 cents, 27.50.
Yeah, speed it up a little, can't you?
What's the rush? Tomorrow's another day.
You make me sick.
You make me sicker.
Go on, go on, go on. We're losing time.
Quit being so bossy. $3, $2.69, $81.50. $40, $8.75. Who do you think you are anyhow?
Never mind who I think I am. Tend to your work.
Don't be giving me so many orders. 60 cents, 24 cents, 75 cents, $1.50, $2.50, $1.50, $1.50, $2.50. I don't have to take it from you, and what's more, I won't.
Quit your talking.
I'll talk all I want. $3, 50 cents, 50 cents, $7, 50 cents, $2.50, $3.50, 50 cents, $1.50, 50 cents.
You make me sick. Always shooting off your face about something. Talk, talk, talk. Just like all the other women. Women make me sick.
I'm getting sick of it. Always picking on me about something. Never a decent word out of you. Not even the time of day.
Yeah, women make me sick. They're all like, the judge gave her 6 months. I wonder what they do in the workhouse. Peel potatoes? I bet she's sore at me. Maybe she'll try to kill me when she gets out. I better be careful. Hello, girl, slays betrayer. Jealous wife, slays rival. You can't tell what a woman's liable to do. I better be careful. I guess she wouldn't have the nerve at that. Maybe she didn't even know it's me. Maybe they didn't put my name in the paper, the big bums. Maybe she's been in the workhouse before with a bum like that. She didn't have nothing on that one time, nothing but a shirt. You make me sick. I'm sick of looking at your face.
Gee, ain't that whistle ever gonna blow? You didn't used to be like that. Not even good morning or good evening. I ain't done nothing to you. It's the young girls going around without corsets.
Your face is getting all yeller. Why don't you put on some paint? She was putting on paint at that time. Her cheeks and her lips and that blue stuff in her eyes, sitting there shimmy, putting on the paint, walking around the room with the legs all bare.
Wish I was dead.
I was a goddamn fool to let the wife get onto me. She ought to get 6 months at that, the dirty bum. Living in a house with respectable people. She'd be living there yet if the wife hadn't gotten on me. Damn her.
I wish I was dead.
Maybe another one will move in. Gee, that would be great. But the wife's got her eye on me now.
Scared to do it, though.
You gotta move into that room. It's a lot cheaper than where you're living now. I better tell you about it. Don't always mean to be picking on you.
Gas, the smell of it makes me sick. What'd you say?
I didn't say nothing.
I thought you did.
You thought wrong.
$1.60, $1.50, $2.90, $1.62.
Why the hell should I tell you? Fat chance of you forgetting to pull down the shade.
If I ask for carbolic, they might get onto me.
Your hair's getting gray. You don't wear them shirt waist like anymore with the low collars. Maybe when you bent down to pick up something.
I wish I knew what to ask for. Girl takes mercury after all-night party. Woman in 10-story death leaps.
I wonder where she'll go when she gets out. Gee, I'd like to make a date with her. Why didn't I go over there that night when my wife went to Brooklyn? She never would have found out.
I seen Pauline Frederick do it once. Where could I get a pistol, though?
Guess I didn't have the nerve.
I'll bet you'd be sorry then that you've been so mean to me. How do I know, though? Maybe you wouldn't.
Nerve? I got as much nerve as anybody. I'm on the level, that's all. I'm a married man, and I'm on the level.
Anyhow, why ain't I got a right to live? I'm as good as anybody else. I'm too refined, I guess. That's the whole trouble.
That time when the wife had pneumonia, I thought she was going to pass out. But she didn't. And the doctor's bill was $87. Hey, wait a minute. Did you say $87?
What?
Was the last thing you said $87?
$42.50.
Well, I guess I made a mistake then. Wait a minute. All right, shoot.
$6, $3.15, $2.25, 65 cents, $1.20. You talk to me as if I was dirt.
I wonder if I could kill the wife without anybody finding out in bed some night with a pillow.
Used to think you was stuck on me.
Oh, I get found out. They have their ways.
We used to be so nice and friendly together when I first came on. He used to talk to me then.
Maybe she'll die soon. Did notice her having that cough the other morning.
You used to tell me all kinds of things. You were going to show them all. Just the same, you're still sitting here.
Then I could do what I damn please. Oh boy.
Maybe it ain't all your fault, neither. Maybe if you had the right kind of wife, somebody with lots of common sense, somebody refined like me.
At that, I guess I'd get tired of bumming around. A fella wants a place to hang his hat.
I wish he would die.
And then you start going out with women. You're liable to get into trouble. You lose your job, maybe.
Maybe you'd marry me.
Gee, I wish I'd gone over that night.
Then I could quit working.
Lots of women would be glad to get me.
You could look a long time before you'd find a sensible, refined girl like me.
Yes, sir. You could look a long time before you find a steady meal ticket like me.
I guess I'd be too old to have any kids. They say it ain't safe after 35.
Maybe I'd marry you. You might be all right at that.
I wonder if you don't want kids, whether there's any way.
Hey, can you slow up? What do you think I am, a machine?
Oh, say, what do you want anyhow? First it's too slow and then it's too fast. I guess you don't know what you want.
Hey, well, never mind about that. You just slow up.
I'm getting sick of this. I'm gonna ask to be transferred.
Go ahead. Can't make me mad.
Keep quiet. $2.45, $1.20, $1.50, 90 cents, 63 cents.
Marry you. I guess not. You'd be as bad as the other one.
You wouldn't care if I did ask. I got a good mind to ask.
I was a fool to get married.
Then I'd never see you at all.
What chance has a guy got with a woman tied around his neck?
That time at the store picnic, the year your wife couldn't come. You were nice to me then.
25 years holding down the same job.
We were together all day, just sitting around under the trees.
I wonder if the boss remembers it being 25 years.
And coming home that night, you sat next to me in the big delivery wagon.
I got a hunch there's a big raise coming.
I wonder what it feels like to be really kissed. Men. Dirty pigs, they want the bold ones.
You don't come across... I'm going to go right up to that front office and tell him where he gets off.
I wish I was dead.
Boss, I'll say, I want to have a talk with you. Sure, he'll say, sit down, have a Corona. No, I'll say, I don't smoke. How's that? He'll say, well, boss, I'll say, it's this way. Every time I feel like smoking, I just take a nickel and put it in an old sock. A penny saved is a penny earned. That's the way I look at it. Damn sensible, he'll say. You got a wise head on you, Zero.
Can't stand the smell of gas. It makes me sick. You could have kissed me if you wanted to.
Boss, I'll say, I ain't quite satisfied. I've been on this job for 25 years now. And if I'm going to stay, it's got to see a future ahead of me. Zero, he'll say, I'm glad you came in. I had my eye on you, Zero. Nothing gets by me. Oh, I know that, boss, I'll say. That'll hand him a good laugh, that will. You're a valuable man, Zero, he'll say. I want you to get right up here with me in the front office. You're done adding figures. Monday morning, you move right up here.
Them kisses in the movies, them long ones, right on the mouth.
I'll keep it going right on after that. I'll show all them birds where they get off.
That one the other night, the devil's alibi, he puts his arms around her and her head fell back and her eyes closed like she was in a daze.
Just give me about 2 years and I'll show them birds where they get off.
I guess that's what it's like, a kind of daze. When I see him like that, I just seem to forget everything.
And me for a place in Jersey, maybe a little Buick. No Tin Lizzie for mine. Wait till I get started. I'll show them.
I can see it now, when I kind of half close my eyes. The way her head fell back and his mouth pressed right up against hers. Oh, God, it must be grand. The whistle.
Oh. Well, good night, Miss DeVore.
Oh, Mr.
Yes, sir. Do you want to see me?
Yes, Mr. Zero. I wanted to have a little talk with you.
Yes, sir. I've kind of been expecting it.
Oh, have you?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been with us, Mr.
Zero.
Yes, Mr. Zero.
25 years today.
25 years. That's a long time.
Never missed a day.
And you've been doing the same work all the time?
Oh, yes, sir. Right here at this desk.
Then, in that case, a change probably won't be unwelcome to you.
Well, no, sir. It won't. And that's the truth.
We've been planning a change in our department for some time.
I thought you had your eye on me.
You were right. The fact is that my efficiency experts have recommended the installation of adding machines.
Add machines?
Yes, you've probably seen them. A mechanical device that can add automatically.
Sure, I seen them. Keys and a handle that you pull down.
That's it. They do the work in half the time a high school girl can operate them. Now, of course, I'm sorry to lose an old and faithful employee.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind saying that again?
I say I'm sorry to lose an employee who's been with us for so many years. But of course, in an organization like this, efficiency must be the first consideration. You will draw your salary for the full month, and I'll have my secretary give you a letter of recommendation.
Excuse me, sir. Let me get this right. You mean I'm canned?
I'm sorry, no other alternative, old employee. Efficiency, economy, business, business, business. Ha ha!
Well, it was nice of you to come home. You're only an hour late, and that ain't much. The supper don't get very cold in an hour. And of course, that part about us having a lot of company tonight don't matter. Ain't you even got the sense to come home on time? Didn't I tell you we were going to have a lot of company tonight? Didn't you know that the ones are coming, and the twos, and the threes, and the fours, and the fives, and the sixes? Didn't I tell you to be home on time? I might as well talk to a stone wall. I guess you must have had some important business to attend to, like watching the scoreboard. Or was two kids having a fight and you as the referee? You sure do have a lot of business to attend to. It's a wonder you have time to come home at all. You got a tough life, you have. Walk in, hang up your hat, and put on the nose bag. And me in the hot kitchen all day, cooking your supper and waiting for you to get good and ready to come home. Oh, maybe the boss kept you late tonight, telling you what a big noise you are and how the store couldn't have got along without you, had not been pushing a pen for 25 years. Where's the gold medal he pinned on you? Oh, did some blind old lady take it from you? Or did you leave it on the seat of the boss's limo when he drove you home? I bet he gave you a big raise, didn't he? Promoted you from the 3rd floor to the 4th, maybe. Raise. A fat chance you'll ever get of having a raise. All they got to do is put an ad in the paper. There's 10,000 like you laying around the streets. You holding down the same job at the end of another 25 years. And if you ain't forgotten how to add by that time. There's the doorbell. Oh, the company's here already, and we ain't hardly finished supper. But I'm going to clear off the table whether you're finished or not. If you want supper, you got a right to be home on time, not standing around looking at scoreboards. Wait a minute. Don't open the door yet. You want company to see all this mess? And go and put on a clean collar. You got red ink all over it. I should think after pushing a pen for 25 years, you'd learn how to do it without getting ink on your collar. I guess I can stay up all night washing dishes. You should worry. That's what a man's got a wife for, ain't it? Didn't he buy her clothes and let her eat at the same table? And all she's got to do is cook the meals and do the washing and scrub the floor and wash the dishes when the company goes. But believe me, you're going to sling a mean dish towel when the company goes tonight. There's the bell again. Open the door, can't you?
Some rain we're having.
Never saw the likes of it.
Yeah, worst in 14 years, paper says.
You can't always go by the papers.
Well, no, that's right, too.
We're liable to forget from year to year.
Yeah, come to think, last year was pretty bad, too.
And how about 2 years ago?
Still, this year's pretty bad.
Yeah, no getting away from that.
Well, might be a whole lot worse.
Yeah, it's all the way you look at it. Some rain, though.
I like those little organdy dresses.
Yeah, with the little lace trimming on the sleeve.
Well, I like them plain myself.
Yeah, I always say is the plainer, the more refined.
Well, I don't think a little lace does any harm.
No, it kind of dresses it up a little.
Well, I always say it's all a matter of taste.
I saw you at the Rosebud movie Thursday night, Mr. One.
Pretty punk show, I'll say.
They're getting worse all the time.
But who was that charming lady, Mr. One?
Now, don't you go trying to make trouble for me. That was my sister.
Oh, that's what they all say.
Oh, never mind. I'll bet Mrs. One knows what's what, all right?
Oh, well, he can do as he likes, so long as he behaves himself.
You're in luck at that one. Fat chance of getting away from the Frau even with my sister.
You ought to be glad you've got a good wife to look after you.
And that is right, Mrs. Three.
I guess I know who wears the pants in your house, Three.
Oh, never mind. I saw them holding hands at the movie the other night.
She must have been trying to get some money away from me.
Swell chance anybody'd have of getting any money away from you.
They sure are a loving couple.
Well, I think we ought to change the subject.
Yes, let's change the subject.
Did you hear the one about the traveling salesman?
It seems this guy was in a sleeper.
Yeah, going from Albany to San Diego.
And in the next berth was an old maid.
With a wooden leg.
Well, along about midnight.
Did you hear the one about the sevens?
They're getting a divorce.
It is the second time for him.
Well, they're two of a kind, if you ask me.
One's as bad as the other.
Worse.
They say that she was...
I think this women's suffrage is the bunk.
It sure is. Politics is a man's business.
Women's place is in the home.
That's it, looking after the kids instead of hanging around the street.
You hit the nail right on the head.
The trouble is, they don't know what they want.
Men sure get me tired.
They sure are a lazy lot.
And dirty.
And always grumbling about something.
When they're not lying.
Or messing up the house.
Well, believe me, I tell mine where he gets off.
Business conditions sure are bad.
Never been worse.
I don't know what we're coming to.
I look for a big smash up in about 3 months.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
We're sure heading for trouble.
My aunt has gallstones.
My husband has bunions.
Oh, my sister expects next month.
My husband has erysipelas.
My niece has St. Vitus's dance.
My boy has fit.
I never felt better in my life. Knock wood.
Too damn much agitation. That's the bottom of it.
That's it. Too damn many strikes.
Foreign agitators. That's what it is.
They ought to be run out of the country.
What the hell do they want anyhow?
They don't know what they want, if you ask me.
America.
I can't believe the conditions this country's gone to.
I mean, think of the children.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet,
Sweet land of liberty. Oh, why so pensive, Mr. Zero?
I'm thinking.
Well, Be careful not to sprain your mind.
Oh, look at all the poor men all by themselves. We ain't very sociable.
Oh.
Oh, looks like we're neglecting the ladies.
Oh, let's go talk with them. The doorbell.
I'll get it. It's for me.
I'm looking for Mr. Zero.
Yeah, I've been expecting you.
Come along.
Just a minute.
Hey, what's he trying to pull? I got you covered.
Sure, that's all right. I just want to give you something.
What's that?
The collar I wore
What do I want it for?
got blood stains on it.
All right, come along.
I got to go with him. You'll have to dry the dishes yourself.
Well, what are they taking you for?
I killed the boss this afternoon. Sure, I killed him. I ain't saying I didn't, am I? Sure, I killed him. Them lawyers, they give me a good stiff pay, and that's what they give me. Half the time, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Objection sustained. Objection overruled. What's the big idea, anyhow? You ain't heard me doing any objecting, have you? Sure not. What's the idea of objecting? You got a right to know. What I say is if one bird kills another bird, why then you got a right to call them out for it. That's what I say. You know, I know what that's all about. I've been on the jury too. Them lawyers, they fill you full of bunk. All that bull about being red ink in the bill file. No, ink, nothing. It was blood. See, I wanted you to get that right. I killed him. See, right through the heart with the bill file. See, I want you to get that right. All of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 of you. 6 and 6, that makes 12. I figured it up often enough. 6 and 6 makes 12. 5 is 5 and 17, and 8 is 25, and 3 is 28, and 8 carry the 2. Oh, cut out. All these damn figures. I can't forget them at 25 years. See, 8 hours a day, except on Sundays, and July and August, half Saturdays. 1 week's vacation with pay, another week without pay if you want it, but who the hell wants it? Lying around the house and listening to the wife yelling at where you get off? No, nix. And legal holidays, I nearly forgot them. New Year's, Washington's birthday, Declaration Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Election Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Good Friday if you want it. And if you're a Jew, the Yom Kippur, and the other one that I forget what they call it, the dirty sheenies. They always get in 2 of the other birds on one. But and then the holiday comes on a Sunday, you get the Monday off. So that's fair enough. But when the 4th of July comes on a Saturday, and you're out of luck on account of Saturdays being a half day anyhow. Get me? 25 years. I'm telling you, and I tell you something funny. That Decoration Day and 4th of July always come on the same week. 25 years. Never missed a day. Never missed more than 5 minutes late. Look at my time card if you don't believe me. 8:27, 8:30, 8:29, 8:27, 8:32, 8:30. 240 goddamn figures. Okay, I can't forget them. They're funny things and figures. They look like people sometimes. The 8 see, 2 dots for the eyes and the dot for the nose and a line that makes the mouth see, and then there's other ones that remind you of other things, but I can't talk about them on account of there being ladies present. Sure, I killed him. Why did he shut up? If you'd only just shut up instead of talking about how sorry he was and what a good guy I am and this and that. I feel like saying to him, oh, for Christ's sake, shut up. But I didn't have the nerve. See, I didn't have the nerve to say that to the boss. And he went on saying about how sorry he was. See, and he was standing right close to me, and the coat only had 2 buttons on it, and 2 and 2 makes 4, and can it? And there was that bill file right on the desk, right where I could touch it. It ain't right to kill a guy. I know that. And when I read about him in the paper and about the 3 kids he got, I felt like a cheapskate. I tell you, they had the kids' pictures in the paper right next to mine, and his wife too. Gee, it must be swell to have a wife like that. I mean, some guys are lucky. And he gets $50,000. He leaves it just for the restroom for the girls in the store. He was a good guy at that. $50,000. That's more than twice as much as if I'd say to every nickel I ever made. See, let's see, 25 and 25 and 25. Cut it out. And the ads had a big black border around them, and it all said that the store would be closed for 3 days on account of the boss being dead. And that nearly handed me a laugh. I mean, all the floor walkers and buyers and muckamucks having to thank me for getting them 3 days off. I hadn't oughta to kill them. I ain't saying nothing about that. But I never thought he was going to give me I thought he was going to give me a raise, see, on account of there being 25 years. He never talked to me before, see, except the one morning when we happened to come into the store at the same time, and I held the door open for him, and he said, thanks. Just like that. See, thanks. And that was the only time he'd ever talked to me. And when I see him coming up to my desk, I didn't know where I got off. A big guy like that coming up to my desk, I felt like I was choking, like all of a sudden, like some kind of bad taste in my mouth. Like when he get up in the morning, I didn't have no right to kill him. The district attorney is right about that. He read the law to you, right? You read out of the book. Killing a bird, that's wrong. But there was this girl. See, 6 months they gave her. And the dirty trick telling the cops on her like that. I shouldn't have done that. But what was I going to do? The wife wouldn't let up on me. I had to do it. She used to walk around the room and just in her undershirt. See, nothing else on, just her undershirt. And they gave her 6 months. And that's the last I'll ever see of her. Them birds, how do they get away with it? They just grabbing women the way you see them in the pictures. You see them like, just grabbing. I ain't got the nerve in the subway, on the street, in the store buying things. Pretty soft for the shoe salesman. He gets to look up the ladies' legs all day. Them lawyers, they gave me a pain, I tell you, a pain, saying the same thing over and over again. I never said I didn't kill him, but I ain't the same as being a regular murder. You know, what good did it do for me to kill him? I didn't make nothing out of it. And the answer, yes or no, me elbow. There's things you just can't answer with yes or no. Give me once over. You guys, do I look like a murderer? Do I never did no harm to nobody. Ask the wife, she'll tell you. And ask anybody. I never did no trouble. You wouldn't count that one time at the polo grounds. That was just for fun. Like, you know, everybody was yelling, kill the empire, kill the empire. And before I knew it, I fired a pop bottle. And on account of everybody yelling like that, it was just fun. See, and the yeller dog calling that one strike a mile away from the plate. Anyhow, the bottle, it didn't even hit him. And when I see the cop coming up the aisle, I beat it, and I didn't hurt nobody. It was just fun. Like, see, I'm a pretty steady guy. You got to admit that. 25 years in one job, and I never missed a day. 52 weeks in a year. 52 and 52 and 52. And they don't have to look for me, did they? I didn't run away, did I? Now, where was I going to run? I was thinking about all of it. See, I was thinking about how I was going to tell, to break the wife's heart about me being canned. He canned me after 25 years. See, and the lawyers, did they tell you about that? I forget. All this talk gives me a headache. Objection sustained. Objection overruled. Answer yes or no. It gives me a headache, and I can't get the figures out of my head neither. But that's what I was thinking about. How I was going to break it to the wife about being canned, and what Mr. Vore would think about when she heard that I killed him. I bet she never thought I'd have the nerve to do it. You know, I'd have married her if the wife had passed out. I'd be holding out my job if he hadn't canned me. And he kept talking and talking. And there was this bill file right there where I could reach it. Do you get me? I'm just a regular guy like anybody else, like you birds. Now, supposing you was me, that maybe you'd have done the same thing. You know, the way you see it, you ought to look at it. See, supposing you was me. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You don't get me, right? Just give me a chance and I'll tell you how it was. I'm all mixed up, see, on account of the lawyers and the figures in my head, but I'm going to tell you how it was. I was there. It was 25 years, see, and they gave her 6 months, see? funny. I thought I heard something, but I don't see nobody. Well, that's funny. I thought I heard something, but I don't see nobody. I guess I must have been dreaming. Well, how could I have been dreaming? I wasn't asleep. Well, no use going back. I can't sleep anyhow. What's that?
It's all right. Nothing to be afraid of. I hope I didn't frighten you.
No, it's all right. You see, I wasn't expecting to see nobody.
You're a newcomer, aren't you?
Yeah, it's my first night. I couldn't seem to get to sleep.
I can't sleep either. Suppose we keep each other company.
Yeah, that'd be great. I've been feeling awful lonesome.
I know. Let's make ourselves comfortable.
Oh, I'm kind of stiff.
You mustn't mind the stiffness. It goes away in a few days.
Oh.
I didn't catch your name. I say I didn't catch your name.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. I'm scared if I tell you who I am and what I've done, you'd be off me.
No matter what your sins may be, they are as snow compared to mine.
You got a second guess coming. Name's Zero. I'm a murderer.
Oh, yes, I remember reading about you.
And
Mr. Zero.
you still think you're worse than me?
Oh, 1,000 times worse. Mr. Zero. 1,000,000 times worse.
What did you do?
I, too, am a murderer.
Oh, go on. You're kidding me.
All I speak is the truth, Mr. Zero. I am the foulest, the most sinful of murderers. You only murdered your employer, but I murdered my mother.
The hell you say?
Yes, my mother, my beloved mother.
Oh, you don't mean to say you're Mr.
Yes!
Yeah, I remember reading about you in the papers.
Yes, my guilt has been proclaimed to all the world. That would be but a trifle if only I could wash the stain of sin from my soul.
You know, I never heard of a guy killing his mother before. What did you do it for?
Because I have a sinful heart. There is no other reason.
Did she always treat you square and all like that?
She was a saint! A saint, I tell you! She cared for me and watched over me as only a mother can.
You mean to say you didn't have a scrap or nothing?
Never a harsh word or an unkind word. Nothing except loving care and good advice. From my infancy, she devoted herself to guiding me on the right path. She taught me to be thrifty, to be devout, to be unselfish, to shun evil companions, and to shut my ears to all temptations of the flesh. In short, to become a virtuous and respectable and God-fearing man. It was hopeless, a hopeless task. At 14, I began to show evidence of my sinful nature.
You didn't kill anybody else, did you?
No! Thank God there was only one sin on my soul. But I ran away from home.
You did?
Yes, a companion lent me a book. A profane book, the only profane book I have ever read, I'm thankful to say. was called Treasure Island. Have you ever read it?
No, I was never much on reading books.
It is a wicked book, a lurid tale of adventure. But it kindled in my sinful heart a desire to go to the sea. And so I ran away from home.
What, did you get a job as a sailor?
I never saw the sea, not to the day of my death. Luckily, my mother's loving intuition warned her of my intention, and I was sent back home. She welcomed me with open arms, not an angry word, not a look of reproach. But I could read the mute suffering in her eyes as we prepared to pray together all through the night.
Gee, that must have been tough. Oh, gee, these mosquitoes are bad, aren't they?
I thought that experience had cured me of evil, and I began to think about a career. I wanted to go into foreign missions at first, but we couldn't bear the thought of separation. So we finally decided that I should become a proofreader. By the time I was 20, I had a good job reading proof for a firm that printed catalogs. After a year, they promoted me and let me specialize in shoe catalogs.
That must have been a good job.
It was a very good job. I was on the shoe catalogs for 14 years. I'd have been there yet if I hadn't.
Yeah, they ought to put a shot of citronella in this embalming fluid. Oh,
We were so happy together. I had my sweet job. And some days we would go to morning, afternoon, and evening service. It was an honest and moral mode of life.
It sure was.
Then came that fateful Sunday. Dr. Amaranth, our minister, was having dinner with us, one of the few pure spirits on earth. When he had finished saying grace, we had our soup. Everything was going on as usual. We were eating our soup and discussing the sermon just like every other Sunday I could remember. Then came the leg of lamb. I see the whole scene before me so plainly. It never leaves me. Dr. Amaranth on my right, my mother on my left. The leg of lamb on the table in front of me. And the cuckoo clock a little between the windows.
Yeah, but what happened?
Well, as I started to carve the leg of lamb. Did you ever carve a leg of lamb?
No, corned beef was our spread.
It's very difficult on account of the bone, and when there's gravy in the dish, there's a danger of spilling it. So my mother used to hold the dish for me. She leaned forward, just as she always did, and I could see the gold locket on her neck. It had my picture in it, and one of my baby curls. Well, I raised my knife to carve the lamb. And instead, I cut my mother's throat!
Oh, you must have been crazy.
No! Do not justify me. I wasn't crazy. They tried to prove that at the trial that I was crazy. But Dr. Amaranth saw the truth. He saw it from the first. He knew that it was my sinful nature. And he told me what was in store for me.
Yeah, well, your troubles are over now.
Over? Do you think this is the end?
Sure. What else can they do to us?
Do you think there can ever be any peace for such as we are? Murderers, sinners. Don't you know what awaits us? Flames. Eternal flames.
Keep your shirt on, buddy. They wouldn't do that to us.
There's no escape for us, I tell you. We're doomed to suffer unspeakable torments through all eternity.
Well, if that ain't... Hey, buddy!
How do you do, Mr. Zero? I'm very glad to see you.
Same here. I wasn't expecting to see you here either. It's kind of a nice place. I wouldn't mind resting here for a while.
You may if you wish.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired. I ain't used to being outdoors. Man, I hadn't walked this much in years.
Sit down here under this tree.
Did they let you sit on the grass? Boy, this feels good. I'll tell the whole world my feet are sore, I will. I ain't used to so much walking safe. I wonder if it would be all right if I took my shoes off. My feet are tired.
Yes, some of the people here go barefoot.
Yeah? They must be nuts. But I'm gonna leave them off for a little while. Oh, so long as it's all right. Yeah, the grass feels nice and cool. Oh, say, this is the life of Riley, all right. This place sure is nice. What do they call this place anyhow?
The Elysian Fields.
The, which?
The Elysian Fields.
Oh, yes. Oh, this place is nice, all right.
They say that this is the most desirable of all places. Only the most favored do remain here.
Oh, well, I guess that lets me out. But what are you doing here? I thought you'd be burned up by now.
Mr. Zero, I am the most unhappy of men.
Why? Because you haven't been roasted alive?
Nothing is turning out as I expected. I saw everything so clearly. The flames, the tortures, an eternity of suffering as the just punishment for my unspeakable crime. And it has all turned out so very differently.
Well, that's pretty soft for you, ain't it?
No! It's right and just that I should be punished. I could have endured it stoically, all through those endless ages of indescribable torment. I should have exulted in the magnificence of my divine justice. But this is maddening. What becomes of justice? What becomes of... Oh, Dr. Amaranth were only here to advise me.
You mean to say they ain't called you for cutting your mother's throat?
No. It's terrible. Terrible. I was prepared for anything but this!
Well, what did they say to you?
Only that I was to come here and remain until I understood.
I don't get it. Oh, what do they want you to understand?
I don't know! If only I had an inkling of what they meant! Just listen quietly for a moment. Do you hear anything?
Nope.
You don't hear any music, do you?
Music? No, I don't hear nothing.
The people here say the music never stops.
They're kidding you.
Do you think so?
Sure thing. There ain't a sound.
Perhaps. They're capable of anything. But I haven't told you the bitterest of my disappointments.
Well, spill it. I'm used to hearing bad news.
When I came to this place, my first thought was to find my dear mother. I wanted to ask her forgiveness, and I wanted her to help me to understand.
And she couldn't do it?
She's not here, Mr. Zero. Here, where only the most favored dwell. That wisest and purest of spirits is nowhere to be found. I don't understand it.
Mr. Zero! Oh, Mr. Zero!
If you were to see some of the people here, the things.
Wait a minute, will you? I think someone's calling me.
Mr. Zero! Oh, Mr. Zero!
Who the hell's that now? I wonder if it's the wife on my trail already. That would be swell, wouldn't it? And I figured her being good for another 20 years anyhow.
Mr. Zero, yoo-hoo!
No, that ain't her voice. Yoo-hoo! Ain't that always the way? Just when a guy's taking life easy and having a good time.
Oh, I thought I'd never catch up to you. I've been following you for days, calling and calling. Didn't you hear me?
Not until just now. You look kind of winded.
Oh, I sure am. I can hardly catch my breath.
Well, yeah, sit down and take a load off your feet. Oh, it's all right. He's a friend of mine. Hey, buddy, I want you to meet a friend of mine. This is Miss DeVore.
How do you do, Miss DeVore?
How do?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. I guess you wouldn't mind her, sitting here a while she cools off, do you?
No, certainly not.
I was just taking a rest myself. I took my shoes off on account of my feet being so sore.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired too. Say, ain't it pretty here though?
Yeah, it is at that.
What do they call this place?
Oh, it's the let's see, he was telling me a minute ago. It was the air, I don't know. It's some kind of fields, but I forget now. Hey, buddy, what do you call this place? He don't hear me. He's thinking again.
What's the matter with him?
He's the guy who murdered his mother, remember?
Oh, yeah? Is that him?
Yeah, and he got it all figured out how they were going to roast him or something. And now they ain't going to do nothing to him, and he's kind of got his goat.
Poor fella.
Yeah, he takes it kind of hard.
Looks like a nice young fella.
Yeah, well, you sure are a sight for sore eyes. I was never expecting to see you here.
Yeah, I thought you might be kind of surprised.
Surprise is right. I thought you were alive and kicking. When did you pass out?
Oh, right after you did, a couple of days.
Yeah? Well, what happened? You get hit by a truck or something?
You see, it's this way. I blew out the gas.
Go on. What's the big idea?
Well, I don't know. You see, I lost my job.
I bet you're sorry you did it now, ain't you?
No, I ain't sorry, not a bit. Say, Mr. Zero, I've been thinking.
What?
Well, I've been thinking it would be kind of nice if you and me, if we could, talk things over.
Yeah, sure. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know, but you and me, we ain't really ever talked things over, have we?
No, that's right. We ain't. Well, let's go to it.
Oh, I was thinking if we could be alone. Just the two of us.
Oh,
see?
yeah. Yeah, I get you. Say, buddy. He's dead to the world. Say, buddy. Buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, say, buddy. Buddy, say, buddy. Say, buddy.
Were you talking to me?
How'd you guess? I was thinking that maybe you'd like to walk around a little, look for your mother.
It's no use. I've looked everywhere.
Maybe over there they might know.
No, I've searched everywhere. He's not here.
Listen, old shirt. My friend, we used to work in the same office, and we got some things to talk over, business and such. It's kind of confidential. So if you don't mind, if it's not asking too much.
Why, certainly.
Okay.
Excuse me.
He's a good guy at that.
Sure is pretty here, ain't it?
Sure is.
Oh, look at the flowers. Ain't they just perfect? Why, you'd think they was artificial, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
And the smell of them, like perfume.
Yeah.
I'm crazy about the country, ain't you?
Yeah, it's nice for a change.
Them store picnics, remember?
Oh, you bet. That sure was fun.
One time, I guess you don't remember, but two of us, me and you, we sat down on the grass together under a tree, just like we're doing now.
Yeah, sure, I remember.
Go on, I bet you don't.
No, I bet I do. It was the year the wife didn't make it.
That's right. I didn't think you'd remember.
And coming home, we sat together in the truck.
Yeah. There's something I've always wanted to ask you.
Well, why didn't you?
Oh, well, I don't know. Didn't seem refined, but I'm gonna ask you now anyhow.
Go ahead. Shoot.
Well, while we was coming home, you put your arm around me behind the bench, and I could feel your knee kind of pressing against mine.
Yeah? Well, what about it?
Oh, what I wanted to ask you was it just kind of accidental?
Sure. It was accidental. Accidental on purpose.
Do you mean it?
Yeah, sure, I mean it. You mean to say you didn't know it?
No, I've been wanting to ask you.
Then why did you get sore at me?
Sore? I wasn't sore. When was I sore?
That night. Sure you were sore. You wasn't sore, then why'd you move away?
Just to see if you meant it. I thought if you meant it, you'd move up closer, and then when you took your arm away, I was sure you didn't mean it.
And I was thinking all the time that you were sore. Why I took my arm away, that's why I took my arm away. I thought if I moved up, you'd holler at me and I'd be in a jam, like you see, reading the paper about the guy getting pulled in for annoying women.
I was wishing you'd put your arm around me, just sitting there wishing all the way home.
What do you know about that? Oh, sure is hard luck, that is. If I had only knew. You know what I felt like doing? I only didn't have the nerve.
What?
I felt like kissing you.
I wanted you to.
You would have let me?
I wanted you to. I wanted you to. Oh, why didn't you?
Oh, I didn't have the nerve. I sure was a dumbbell.
I would have let you. I would have let you all you wanted to. I wouldn't have cared. I know it would have been wrong, but I wouldn't have cared. I wasn't thinking about right and wrong. I didn't care. See, I just wanted you to kiss me.
If I'd only knew. I wanted to. I swear I did, but I didn't think you cared nothing about me.
I never cared nothing for nobody else.
Do you mean it? On the level, you ain't kidding me, are you?
No, I ain't kidding. I mean it. I'm telling the truth. I ain't never had the nerve to tell you before, but now I don't care. It don't make no difference now. I mean, every word of it.
If I'd only knew.
Listen to me. There's something else I want to tell you. I mean, I may as well tell you everything now. It don't make no difference now. About my blowing out the gas. See, do you know why I done it?
Yeah, you told me on account of getting canned.
I just told you that. That ain't the real reason. The real reason is on account of you.
You mean to say on account of me passing out?
Yeah, that's it. I didn't want to go on living. What for? What did I want to go on living for? I didn't have nothing to live for with you gone. I often thought of doing it before, but I never had the nerve. And anyhow, I didn't want to leave you.
And me bawling you out for talking too fast or talking too slow.
Why did you do it?
I don't know. I swear I don't. I was always stuck on you, and while I'd be adding up them figures, I'd be thinking about how if the wife had died, then you and me could get married.
I used to think of that too.
And then before I knew it, I was just bawling you out.
Them was the times I'd think of blowing out the gas, but I never did till you was gone. There wasn't nothing to live for then. But it wasn't so easy to do anyhow. I never could stand the smell of gas, and all the while I was getting ready, you're stuffing up the cracks the way you read about in the paper. I was thinking of you and hoping that maybe I'd meet you again. And I made up my mind, if I ever did see you, I'd tell you.
I'm sure glad you did. I'm sure glad. But it don't do much good now, does it?
No, I guess it don't. But there's one thing I'm gonna ask you.
What's that?
I want you to kiss me.
You bet I will.
Oh, no, not like that. I didn't mean like that. I mean, really kiss me on the mouth. I ain't never been kissed like that. So that's what it's like? I didn't know it could be like that. I didn't know anything could be like that.
Your cheeks are all red. They're all red. And your eyes are shining, man. I never seen your eyes shining like that before.
Listen. Do you hear it? Do you hear the music?
No, I don't hear nothing.
Yeah. Music, listen and you'll hear it.
Yeah. I do hear it. He said there was music, but I didn't hear it till just now.
Just imagine if we could stay here all the time.
Yeah.
You and me.
There ain't
Wouldn't
a chance.
it be swell?
There's not a chance.
Won't they let us stay?
No, this place is only for the good ones.
We ain't so bad, are we?
Gee, go on. Me a murderer and you committing suicide? Anyway, they wouldn't stand for this. The way we been going on.
I don't see why.
Well, you don't. Ain't I got a wife?
Not anymore, you ain't. When you're dead, that ends it. Don't they always say until death do us part?
Well, maybe you're right. But, they wouldn't stand for us here.
It would be swell. The two of us together. We can make up for all them years.
Yeah, I wish we could.
We sure were fools. But I don't care. I got you now.
Yeah. I sure am crazy about you. I never saw you looking so pretty before. Your cheeks all red, your hair hanging down. You got swell hair.
We got each other now, ain't we?
Yeah, I'm sure crazy about you, Daisy. Oh, that's a pretty name. It's a flower, ain't it? Well, that's what you are. You're just a flower.
We can always be together, can't we?
As long as they'll let us, I'm sure I'm crazy about you. Oh, watch your step.
What's the matter?
He's coming back.
Oh, is that all? Well, what about it?
You don't want him seeing us laying around like this, do you?
I don't care if he does.
Well, you ought to care. I don't want him to think that you ain't no refined girl. Do you? Come on, he's an awful moral bird, he is.
I don't care nothing about him. I don't care nothing about anybody but you.
Sure, I know, but we don't want people talking about us. You better fix your hair up and pull your skirts down. Hey, well, you got back all right, did you?
I hope I haven't returned too soon.
No, it's all right. We were just having a little talk about business and things.
We were wishing we could stay here all the time.
You may if you like.
What?
Yes, anyone who likes may remain.
But I thought you was telling me that...
Just as I told you, only the most favored do remain here. But anyone may.
But I don't get it. There must be a catch somehow.
It don't matter as long as we can stay.
Yeah, we were thinking about getting married, see?
You may or not, just as you like.
You don't mean to say that we could stay here if we don't, do you?
Yes. They don't care.
And there's some around here that ain't married?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know about this place. That must be kind of mixed crowd.
It don't matter so long as we get each other.
Yeah, I know, but you don't want to mix with people that aren't respectable.
Can we get married right away? I guess there must be a lot of ministers here, ain't there?
Not as many as I hoped to find. The two who seem most beloved are Dean Swift and the Abbé Rabelais. They are both much admired for some indecent tales which they have written.
What? Ministers writing smutty stories? Say, what kind of dump is this, anyhow?
I don't know, Mr. Zero! All these people here are so strange, so unlike the good people I've known. They seem to think of nothing but enjoyment or of wasting their time in profitless occupations. Some paint pictures from morning until night or carve blocks of stone. Others write songs or put words together day in and day out. Still, others do nothing but lie under trees and look at the sky. There are men who spend all their time reading books and women who think of only admiring themselves, and forever they are telling stories and laughing and singing and drinking and dancing. There are drunkards, thieves, vagabonds, blasphemers, adulterers. There is one who...
That's enough. I've heard enough.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna beat it, that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, you said you liked it here.
You liked it? Say, you don't mean to say you want to stay here with, do you, with the lots of rummies and loafers and bums?
We don't have to bother with them. We can just sit here together and look at the flowers and listen to the music.
Music? Did you hear music?
Sure. Don't you hear it?
No. They say it never stops, but I've never heard it.
I thought I heard it before, but I don't hear nothing now. I guess I must have been dreaming. Hey, what's the quickest way out of this place?
Won't you stay a little bit longer?
Didn't you hear me say I'm leaving? Goodbye, Miss DeVore. I'm gonna beat it.
I won't never see him again.
Are you going to stay here?
It don't make no difference now. Without him, I might as well be alive.
All right, Zero, cease firing. Hello?
What'd you say?
I said stop punching that machine.
Stop?
Yeah, can't you stop?
What's the idea? Can't you leave me alone?
How long have you been here?
Just 25 years, 300 months, 9,131 days, 136,250.
That'll do.
I ain't missed a day, not an hour, not a minute, and look at all the work I got done.
It's time to quit.
Quit? What do you mean quit? I ain't gonna quit.
You've got to.
What for? What do I have to quit for?
It's time for you to go back.
Go back? Where? What are you talking about?
Back to Earth, you dub. Where do you think?
Go on, Cap. Who are you kidding?
I'm not kidding anybody. And don't call me Cap. I'm a lieutenant.
All right, lieutenant, all right? But what's this you're trying to tell me about going back?
Your time's up, I'm telling you. You must be pretty thick. How many times do you want to be told a thing?
This is the first time I heard about going back. Nobody ever said nothing about nothing to me.
You didn't think you were going to stay here forever, did you?
Sure, why not? I did my bit, didn't I? 45 years of it. 25 years in the store, then the boss canned me, and I knocked him out cold. I guess you hadn't heard about that before.
I know all about that, but what's that got to do with it?
Well, I done my bit, didn't I? They ought to let me out.
So you think you're all through, do you?
Sure I do. I did the best I could while I was there, and then I passed out. And now I'm sitting pretty here.
You got a fine idea of the way they run things you have. Do you think they're going to go through all the trouble of making a soul just to use it once?
Once is often enough, it seems to me.
It seems to you, does it? Oh, well, who are you? What do you know about it? Why, man, they use a soul over and over again, over and over until it's worn out.
Nobody ever told me.
So you thought you were all through, did you? Well, that's a hot one.
How was I to know?
Use your brains. Where would we put them all? We're crowded enough here as it is. Why, this place is nothing but a kind of repair service, a sort of cosmic laundry, you might say. We get all the souls in here by the bushelful. When we get busy, we clean them up, and you ought to see some of them. The muck, the slime, and they're so full of holes as a flour sifter. But we fix them up, we disinfect them, and we give them a kerosene rub, mend the holes, and back they go. Practically as good as new.
You mean to say I've been here before the last time, I mean?
Been here before. Well, you poor boob. You've been here thousands of times. 50,000 at least.
How is it I don't remember nothing about it?
Well, that's partly because you're stupid. But it's mostly because that's the way they fix it. They're funny that way. Every now and then they do something white like that, when you'd least expect it. I guess the economy's at the bottom of it, though. They figured that souls would get worn out quicker if they remembered.
Don't any of them remember?
Yeah, some do. You see, there's different types. There's the type that gets a little better each time he goes back. We just give them a wash and send them right through. But then there's another type. That's the type that gets a little worse each time, and that's where you belong.
Me? You mean to say I'm getting worse all the time?
Yes, a little worse each time.
Well, what was I when I started? There's something big, I guess, like a king or something.
A king? That's a good one. I'll tell you what you were the first time. If you want to know so badly, a monkey.
A monkey?
Yes, sir. Just a hairy, chattering, long-tailed monkey.
That must have been a long time ago.
Not so long. 1,000,000 years or so. Seemed like yesterday to me.
Well, look here. What do you mean by saying I'm getting worse all the time?
Just what I said. You weren't as so bad as a monkey. Of course, you did just what all the other monkeys do, but still, it kept you out in the open air. And you weren't women shy. Oh, there was this one red-headed monkey. Oh, man. But never mind. We'll see. You weren't so bad then, but even in those days, there must have been some kind of bigger, brainier monkey that you kowtowed to. And the market of slaves has been on you from the start.
Well, you ain't very particular about what you call people, are you?
You wanted the truth, didn't you? If there was ever a soul in the world that was labeled as a slave, it's yours. Why, all the bosses and kings that there ever were have left their trademark on your backside.
That ain't fair if you ask me.
Don't ask me about it. I don't make the rules. All I know is you've been getting worse. Worse each time. Why, even 6,000 years ago, you weren't so bad. That was the time that you were hauling stones for one of those big pyramids in a place they call Africa. You ever hear of the pyramids?
Them big pointy things?
That's it.
Yeah, I've seen a picture of them in the movies.
Well, you helped build them. It was a long step down from the happy days in the jungle, but it was a good job. Even though you didn't know what you were doing and your back was striped by the foreman's whip, but you've been going down and down. 2,000 years ago, you were a Roman galley slave. You were one of them triremes that knocked out the Carthaginian fleet for a goal. Yeah, again, the whip, but you had muscles then, chest muscles and back muscles and biceps. Look at you now, you're a bunch of mush. Then, another 1,000 years, and you were a serf. That's right, you were a lump of clay digging up other lumps of clay. You wore an iron collar then. White ones hadn't been invented yet. But it was another long step down. There you were, digging potatoes. And the potatoes grew, that helped fatten the pigs, which is something. And now, well, I don't want to rub it in.
Rub it in is right. Seems to me I got a pretty healthy kick coming. I ain't had a square deal. Hard work, that's all I ever had.
What else were you ever good for?
Hey, well, that ain't the point. The point is, though, I'm through. I've had enough. Let them find another somebody else to do the dirty work. I'm sick of being the goat. I quit right here and now. What's that?
It's all right. Nobody's going to hurt you. It's just their way of telling you that they don't like you to talk that way. Pull yourself together and calm down. You can't change the rules. Nobody can. They've all got it fixed. It's a rotten system, but what are you going to do about it?
Why can't they stop picking on me? I'm satisfied here. I doing my day's work. I don't want to go back.
You've got to, I tell you. There is no way out of it.
What chance do I have? No one's going to hire me at my age. Who's going to give me a job?
You big boob. You don't think you're going to go back the way you are, do you?
Sure. How then?
Why, you got to start all over.
All over?
You'll be a baby again. A bald, red-faced little animal, and then you'll go through it all again. And there'll be millions of others like you, all with their mouths open, squalling for food. And then when you get a little older, you'll begin to learn things. And you'll learn all the wrong things and learn them all the wrong way. You'll eat the wrong food, you'll wear the wrong clothes, and you'll live in swarming dens where there's no light and no air. You'll learn to be a liar, a bully and a braggart, coward and a sneak. You'll learn to fear the sunlight and hate beauty. By that time, you'll be ready for school. Then they'll tell you the truth about a great many things that you don't give a damn about, and they'll tell you lies about the things that you want to know. And about all the things you want to know, they'll tell you nothing at all. When you get through, you'll be equipped for your life work. You'll be ready to take a job.
Oh, what'll my job be? Another ad machine?
Yes, but not one of those antiquated adding machines. It will be a superb, hyper adding machine as far from this old piece of junk as you are from God. It'll be something to make you sit up and take notice, that adding machine. It will be an adding machine which will be installed in a coal mine and will record the individual output of each miner. As each miner down in the lower galleries takes a shovel full of coal, the impact of his shovel will automatically set in motion a graphite pencil in your gallery. The pencil will make a mark on a white upon a black and sensitized drum. Then your work comes in. With the great toe of your right foot, you release a lever which focuses a violet ray on the drum. The ray, playing upon through the white mark, falls upon a selenium cell, which in turn sets the keys of the adding apparatus in motion. In this way, the individual output of each miner is recorded without any human effort except the slight pressure of the great toe of your right foot.
Hey, that'll be some machine, won't it?
Some machine is right. It will be the culmination of human effort, the final triumph in the evolutionary process. For millions of years, the nebulous gases swirled in space. For millions more years, the gases cooled, and then through inconceivable ages, they hardened into rocks. Then came life, floating green things on the waters that covered the earth. More millions of years, and a step upward, an animate organism in this ancient slime. And so on, step by step, down through the ages, again here, again there. The mollusks, the fish, the reptiles, the mammals, and then man. And all so that you might sit in the gallery of a coal mine and operate the super hyper adding machine with the great toe of your right foot.
Well then, I ain't so bad after all.
You're a failure, Zero, a failure. A waste product, a slave to a contraption of steel and iron. The animal's instincts, but not his strength and skill. The animal's appetites, but not his unashamed indulgence of them. True, you move and eat, digest and excrete and reproduce, but any microscopic organism can do as much. Well, time's up. Back you go. Back to your sunless groove, the raw materials of slums and wars, the ready prey of the first jingo, a demagogue, a political adventurer who takes the trouble to play upon your ignorance and credulity and provincialism. You poor spineless, brainless boob, I am sorry for you.
Then keep me here. Don't send me back. Let me stay.
Get up. Didn't I tell you I can't do nothing for you? Come on, time's up.
I can't. I'm afraid to go through it all again.
You've got to, I tell you. Now, come on now.
No, what'd you have to tell me so much for? Couldn't you just let me go thinking everything was going to be all right?
You wanted to know, didn't you?
How was I to know what you were going to tell me? Now I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking. I'll be thinking about it all the time.
All right. I'll do the best I can for you. I'll send a girl with you to keep you company.
Girl? What for? What good is a girl going to do me?
She'll help you forget.
She will? Where is she?
Wait a minute. I'll call her. Oh, Hope, you who? Yes? Come here, will you? There's a fellow here who wants you to take him back. All right. I'll be right over, Charlie dear. Kind of familiar, isn't she, Charlie dear?
What'd you say your name was?
Hope. Hope.
Is she good looking?
Is she good looking? Oh, boy, wait till you see her. She's a blonde with big blue eyes and red lips and little white teeth and big giant...
That sounds good to me. Will she be long?
Yeah, she'll be right here, Way. There she. Oh, there she is now. Do you see her?
No. Where?
She's out in the corridor. No, not up there. Farther over to the right. Don't you see her blue dress and the sunlight in her hair?
Oh, sure. Now I see her. What's the matter with me anyhow? Say, she's some Jane.
She'll make you forget your troubles.
What troubles you talking about?
Nothing. Go on. Don't keep her waiting.
You bet. Yeah. Oh, I won't. Oh, Hope. Well, wait for me. I'll be right with you. I'm on my way.
Hell, I'll tell the world this is a lousy job.